Yeah, I saw this like a week and a half ago. I'm a little late, but I'm still early for the actual movie. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. I saw Shazam a couple weeks early, but I am lazy and I do pretty much what I want on this channel, so my review is coming out like a couple days before the actual movie does and a couple like week and a half after I actually saw the movie. But you know what? That's why I like doing this channel, because I can do whatever I want. And let's just talk about Shazam. I don't have a whole lot to say about it, except for the fact that it was exactly what I expected it to be. It was a lot more fun than pretty much any other DC movie I have ever seen, including Wonder Woman. And I really loved Wonder Woman, but the reason I loved Wonder Woman was pretty much because it was like the first real female superhero I had seen. Because I mean, I know there's been like other like Wonder Womans and stuff, but that was a little bit before my time. This is like the first female superhero I had seen on screen. But then we got Captain Marvel, and I liked Captain Marvel a lot better than Wonder Woman for the most part. But I was super excited for Shazam because I have not been a fan of any of the DCEU movies. I am not a huge DC fan in general, but I really liked Christopher Nolan's Batman, but again, I feel like I've said this a million times, mostly on my podcast. If you haven't seen listen to my podcast, check it out there, or in the description. I don't think I can put a link to the podcast there. It's in the description. But anyways, tangent. I don't consider the Christopher Nolan Batman films part of the DCEU, but that's a whole other thing because it's not technically part of the DCEU. It's actually not. But I don't consider the Nolan Batman films to technically be a superhero movie, even though they kind of are. But I consider them more of the detective noir movie because that is what Batman is. He is from Detective Comics, but we're talking about Shazam. Again, I have to keep telling myself that. We're not talking about anything else but Shazam, the original Captain Marvel. So, like I said, very excited about this. It looked like it's going to be hilarious. It's Zachary Levi. I am a fan of his. He is the only reason I liked Tangled. For the most part, I have only seen Tangled like twice, and it's not like my favorite, but we're talking about Zachary Levi. So, I have some notes here. And I usually have, where'd it go? I'm a mess right now. There it is. I usually have this notebook with me when I go to movies, but because this was a weekend screening and I wasn't coming from work, I didn't have it in my bag with me, so I had to use napkins. So these are going to be fun to try to read, but from memory. I need to slow down. I took a week to do this review because I've been doing this more just so I can get my thoughts together and have a more cohesive review, but I'm not doing that. I'm gonna try to read my notes, so bear with me. So my first note on here is that Shazam, I feel like, took a lot of inspiration from Marvel, which I'm okay with. I really love Marvel and I love the MCU. Watching those movies is so fun for me. They're movies that it's hard for me to analyze and like dig deep down into like I do with a lot of other films that my film school brain really likes to dig deep into, because I love to watch the Marvel movies just for the pure entertainment thrill of watching them. They're so much fun. But I think the reason Shazam is doing so well is because it took a lot of their formula. Like the opening in this, not really a spoiler for anything, but the opening in this felt a lot like the opening in Spider-Man Homecoming, which I really liked. I loved Spider-Man Homecoming. It's probably the only Spider-Man film that I've ever really, truly enjoyed. I will say that, yes, more than Spider-Man 2. You can listen to the podcast where I talk about Spider-Man 2. I highly recommend it. I get yelled at by my friends. But there are a lot of other elements that I feel like they pulled from the MCU throughout this. I can't remember any off the top of my head because, stupidly enough, I didn't write any down because it's really hard to write on napkins. And the dark on an armrest. So I don't have any other specific examples, but I don't want to go into any spoilers. I may do a spoiler review next week once the movie actually comes out and I can go see it again, because, spoiler alert, for my final rewatch score on this, I will be definitely seeing this again. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit more about this movie. So I'm going to talk about the things that I really, really liked before I get into well, okay, I guess let's just say that this isn't a perfect movie by any means. It's nothing new in the superhero genre. Like I said, I feel like they pulled a lot of their story elements from Marvel, so it wasn't something new that I had seen. It wasn't groundbreaking in any way, shape, or form, but it is very, very fun. I had a lot of laughs. I was thinking through the first act, pretty much. A lot of the funny parts, actually the first half of the film, a lot of the funny parts felt like they were just pulled from the trailers, but there was a lot of funny parts towards the second end, or like the back half of the film, that were totally new to me, and they were still really funny. And even the funny parts that were pulled from the trailers were still hilarious to me. I don't know if that's because I saw it with a really big group of people and my friends, but I was laughing pretty much the entire time. That's pretty much the only thing that I really don't like about this film, is that it's nothing new. It's just, it's an okay superhero origin story. But some of the things I did like about it, because there is a lot that I liked about this. Number one, Zachary Levi. He is great. He has a really great chemistry with number two, the kid from It, Jack Dylan Grazer. They are both hilarious together. They are both hilarious on their own. And I don't know what the kid's name who plays Billy Batson is, but the two teens, the two guys, like the two main boys, Billy Batson and Jack Dylan Grazer's character, they have really good chemistry together too. It's really fun to see these leads work together. I also really loved the other foster girl, the youngest one, Darla, who's their little sister. She is adorable, she's hilarious, and I love her so much. Actually, I cannot wait to see what they do with her in the second one, because this is doing so well already, and the movie's not even out yet. It's going to be getting a sequel, especially since it's been doing a lot better than most of the DC movies, besides Wonder Woman. And it's probably the only one that's actually got any storyboarding for it whatsoever that's coherent, or has leads, besides Wonder Woman. And kind of The Flash. Okay, sidetracked again. Mark Strong, I'm going to continue with this whole casting thing, because Mark Strong was an okay bad guy. He was menacing, but he was good. But I do like Mark Strong most of the time. I especially love him in Kingsman 2. That last scene in the second Kingsman movie, oh my god. But Mark Strong, I mean, he's always good, but he was good in this. Probably not my favorite, not my favorite role of his, but he was a decent bad guy. Probably one of the better ones in DCEU. Yeah, probably one of the better ones, but they're not known for their strong villains. And finally, before I get to a sort of spoilery part that I'm not going to actually spoil, is the story in this. It's got a good message. It's like a message about finding your way in the world and finding where home is and kind of finding yourself. It's a finding movie. Yeah. But I like the story. It was cute. Again, it's not a new story, but it was cute. It was fun. And that's about it. It's a cute, fun movie. And finally, the spoilery thing that I'm not going to spoil. There is a surprise cameo at the end of this that I almost screamed when I saw it. I was very excited for it, and I will probably, if I do a spoiler review of it, I will talk about it more. But I was very excited for this person to show up. I didn't know they were going to be in this, and it was a great surprise, so that's that, and no harm done. And I think it's time for my pretty obvious by now rewatch score for this. Overall score, I'd say like a 3.5 out of 5, but rewatch score on this is definitely a collection. Like I said, I'm going to see it again when it comes out. Probably not the day it comes out, because I'm not going to go see Pet Sematary, and I already saw this. So I'm going to go see Us again because I really enjoyed Us. But I will be seeing Shazam again, probably on Friday. So maybe you'll see in a week from now a spoiler review. Who knows? But yeah, definitely collection on this because I absolutely love it. It's going to be the only other DC movie that I own besides Wonder Woman, but I own Wonder Woman for the hashtag feminism. That's a stupid joke. That is a joke. I actually like Wonder Woman, but strong women. So that is pretty much all of my thoughts. Let me know if you have seen Shazam yet. If you went to the early Fandango screening, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Or if you haven't seen it yet, are you going to go see it this weekend? Let me know. I would love to know. Please do not spoil it for anybody in the comments, because that's just a shitty thing to do. It's so mean. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate every single one of you. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you need, because I'll talk to you on the next movie, see which is filmmaking of mystery, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye!